guys? Welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Women are already losing big time to the AI ladies, as it were. Tech industries are starting to see that this may be a better investment than the actual dating apps such as Tinder and Bumble and all the rest of them. I forget all the names. It's been so long since I've been on them. Even the Bumble CEO recently came out and said, maybe designing things where women reach out first wasn't such a great idea, because it turns out that the women kind of like to be asked out first. And usually when women make contact first on the app, they just say hi or hello. And a lot of times the guys take over the conversation, just like you think they would. And Bumble's not doing so well, and neither is Tinder. And gosh knows what happened to Plenty of Fish and all the other, Plenty of Squish and all the other ones out there. Well, now there's a couple of dating apps that have come out, or similar dating apps that have come out with AI women. And what the premise is that you can kind of design what you want the girl to look like. You can set up her hobbies. You can set up the conversation type. And you can even design what some of the AI women can look like. And what I think is going to happen is that guys that say, something, I'm getting turned down all the time on dating apps. Women in real life, either don't like me or don't talk to me or ignore me or make fun of me, or there's very little return on my investment, and they're not really great conversationalists anymore because they feel entitled and they require too much from me. I think I'm just going to hang out with the guys, and when the guys are in bed or like doing their own things or whatever, doing their own hobbies, when the guys are in bed or I'm in bed and the world is asleep and I'm done playing my games for the day, I can load up this AI girlfriend, and even though I know it's AI, I can have a conversation and maybe flirt a little bit, and maybe the AI will send me some saucy pictures, and it's letting guys kind of get that one-on-one interaction they don't get from going to the saucy websites to watch that content. And that is really going to put a huge dent in the OnlyFools stuff and the dating apps. So before we get started, this past Friday, normally we do Saturday night at the movies over at Locals for supporters. But since UFC 300 was out this past Saturday, I streamed from 6 p.m. until about, 1 or 2 a.m. I did a stream, and we covered the UFC fights. And so we moved movie night to Friday nights. And so we did these two movies on Friday night. A lot of times people say, oh, well, you can't just, stream that stuff. It's bad and you're not supposed to. But I talk over most of it. I do my own color commentary. I read live tips and chats. We talk about current events. And so really, that's where my live streams are, and the movies and the other events are just kind of in the background. So for a whopping $5 a month, you're going to get 2 movies every Saturday night with a bunch, like 200 other guys, and we share memes and laugh it up and have a great time. So if you're not over on Locals, please come over today. You can become a member for free just to check it out. But for $5 a month, you can jump in on movie nights. And, they started out with, I think, we started out with 30 guys a night, and now we're pretty regularly about 200 guys. And we get to know each other, and we share memes, and we have some laughs. And if you break that up to, say, a four-week month, that's 8 movies for $5. So it's kind of like 50 cents a movie. So come on over and support the channel. I'd appreciate it. From the New York Post, a tech executive predicts AI girlfriends will create a billion-dollar business, comfort at the end of the day. They say it's only a matter of time before someone builds the next billion-dollar. Oh, let me make sure this. Let's fit that to the window. I guess I wasn't doing a great job at that. Everything just looked weird for you, I'm sure. Sorry about that. They say it's only a matter of time before someone builds the next billion-dollar dating app that will pair real-life users with AI girlfriends, according to a tech executive. And this is from April 15th, just a couple days ago. Greg Eisenberg, CEO of Late Checkout, wrote a blog post on X in which he shared that he met a man in Miami who had admitted to me that he spends $10,000 a month on AI girlfriends. Eisenberg said, I thought he was kidding, but he's a 24-year-old single guy who loves it. He goes on to say, when Eisenberg asked him what he loves about it, the Miami man is quoted as saying, some people play video games. I play with AI girlfriends. And I'll get to his post here in just a moment. You know, if you think about this, let's say you're playing a video game, right? Well, I'm trying to think of you're in Cyberpunk. Okay, you're in Cyberpunk playing a video game. Not everybody's thing, I know, but nonetheless. You've got NPCs and you've got missions and you drive a car around and you run and gun and all the rest of the stuff. Well, that's kind of a video game. The difference is when you're doing this, it's going to react to you in the moment. There's no more scripted conversations. You can set up her hobbies and what she thinks and how she sees the world. Is she a crazy leftist? Is she conservative? Whatever. And then you get to have that conversation. I think a lot of guys are going to look at this as a video game or something that's entertaining to them. Now, $10,000. I don't know how you spend $10,000 on the things. Like, who are you? Like, are you tipping? Are you giving it away to the programmers? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's supposedly what he said. And what I think is going to happen is let's take a single guy right now, right? He maybe talks to his guy friends or he talks to friends online playing video games, or he goes to forums or on Twitter and he posts and he types and he talks to people that way. Well, now he can also flirt and talk with women in the same way. The only difference is he's not doing it to a real one. He's doing it to an AI chatbot. Me personally, I don't see the value in it. It's the same reason why hiring a professional wouldn't do anything for me, because while she's physically there, I know she's there for the money. And I kind of I'm more interested in women in the fact that they're excited to date me, I'm excited to date them, and we date each other. If it's a one-way transaction, I think that loses the vast majority of interest for me. But I'm also an old school kind of guy that's, been in the dating world and been married and had the ups and downs of real life interaction. If you're a young guy where women will not talk to you, but in a case like this, you can design a woman and you can flirt with her and ask her for the saucy pictures and she responds real time and you have interesting conversations, maybe that's enough to meet the needs of a lot of guys. I've said on here many times, I'm in Tennessee. When I was in Montana for a year, I didn't meet any real world friends. I'm here in Tennessee. I've met a couple of my neighbors, but for the most part, I don't have anybody I hang out with. And I feel that doing these videos and reading your comments and being on Twitter and posting over there, and that's enough of interaction for me to feel like I'm not extremely alone out in the middle of the woods. So that's enough to get me the interaction that I need. And I think for a lot of people, that may be enough. Eisenberg said that he was told by the man, I love that I could use voice notes now with my AI girlfriends. I get to customize my AI girlfriend, the man told Eisenberg, likes, dislikes, etc. It's comfort at the end of the day. The Miami man stated his preference for two websites, Candy.ai and Cupid.ai. And this is apparently one of the women. He goes on to say Candy.ai bills itself as the ultimate AI girlfriend experience, which offers virtual companions for immersive and personalized chats. Cupid AI says that that it uses AI algorithms to generate virtual and fictional characters or companions with whom one can communicate through voice notes. It's kind of like dating apps. You're not the only one, the Miami man said. Eisenberg said he was left speechless by the encounter and predicted that someone who would build the AI version of Match Group and make $1 billion. Match Group is the parent company of dating apps such as Tinder, Match.com, Hinge, OkCupid, and Plenty of Fish. Websites like Romance.ai offer up virtual dating partners using technology that can mimic real-life human interactions. Let me copy that one. I'll open that in a new tab as well. An app such as Romantic AI helps you create the perfect girlfriend with whom you share interests and views. Another app, Forever Companion, offers the user's opportunity to chat with bots based on popular social media influencers. That's kind of creepy that they're basing it off real people. So they go on and they have lots of different examples. you notice something, don't you? You notice with these AI women, guys like big boobs. Like that's just kind of universal, if you ever notice. They also have the option of making their chatbots submissive or dominant. A group of Gen Z TikTok users reported they were falling for Dan, ChatGPT's alter ego, with a flirty macho male voice that some have compared to Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. So women are doing it too. I'm not saying that this is, me personally, I don't think this is a good thing. Everything that happens in society is pulling humans apart from one another. When I was a young man, we used to go to pubs and we'd listen to music and we'd shoot pool and we'd shoot darts, and you can do a lot of that stuff. But other than that, you were mostly sitting at home alone, and you didn't, unless you were picking up a physical phone and talking to somebody, you weren't interacting with other humans unless you had like a roommate or something or other. And a lot of times we'd sit around playing video games and drinking a cold beer and goofing off and talking with friends. But now I'm a good example. I can sit out in the middle of the woods. I don't need to interact with other human beings, and I'm okay. And that's not really ideal. But I'm also a 50-year-old guy that's I've been through it. And so I'm perfectly fine being out here working and doing my own thing because I got gosh knows I have lots of things to work around on the property. But what about the young guy that's 22, 23, 24? Shouldn't he be out meeting and flirting with people? Shouldn't he be out doing other activities with people? Yes, but what activities are left? Bowling alleys are all but extinct, as are pool halls, as are dart leagues. Almost everything where you can physically hang out with other people is going away. Is the culture change making those businesses go away, or are those businesses going away and therefore everybody's resorting to online interactivity with other people? I don't know. They say a recent survey from InfoBip found that nearly 20% of Americans have flirted with chatbots. Nearly half of them, 47%, did so out of curiosity, while 23% said they were lonely and seeking interactions. That's a quarter of people doing this said they're lonely. That is not good. Now, I'm fine with this kind of technology making people not feel so lonely, but it's also not another human being. And so there is no advancement of possibly dating, possibly meeting somebody that's special, maybe actually having that good relationship that might turn into something. To me, I do get this is a good thing, but also it's very dystopian and very sad in many ways. Nearly 17% said they were AI phished, meaning they did not realize they were talking to a chatbot. The survey also found 12% were seeking spicy chat with a private space. And, I don't have anything against this. It's kind of like the guys that say, oh, I have a silicone girlfriend, right? She kind of looks like this, but not quite. And I get to have my pleasure with her, wash her out, throw her in the closet for a week or two. Like, for me personally, that doesn't do anything for me. And I think it's a little sad, but I'm old school. I'm not the young generation that maybe never had an interaction with a woman. Now let me put this other one here in the chat before I forget. Let that load up. So here's his post. He says the market cap for Match Group is $9 billion. Someone will build the AI version of Match Group and make $1 billion plus. He goes through and says about what the guy said about dating and spending $10,000. He said there's a few platforms he likes, and here's some of the images from it. Now, this is Rebecca, who's supposedly 51 years old. I've seen very, very few 51-year-olds that look this good and or perky. Same thing here. This is Alice, 28. She's all about great wine and good food and blah, blah, blah. Amaya, dominant housewife living in a calm and boring neighborhood. And here's the Match Group stock value. And you can see back in 21, 22, during the lockdowns and the bug, it was maybe a high of 160. No, about 175. So this is 150 to 200. So about $175 a share. Now it's floating about $40 a share, $35 a share. It's fallen off a lot. And what are guys looking at? Guys are looking at this. They log in, And I have not logged in or created anything here, but you can say, do you want to look at, are you a male looking for female, female, male, male, female, whatever? And it says create your own AI. And you can choose from either the waifu type animated or one that looks like a human girl. And you can scroll through here and check. Now, again, this is Gina, supposedly, who's 51 years old. Oh, this is a chat. I didn't mean to do that. You can see her photo here. She actually looks like a 35, extremely healthy and good-looking 35-year-old MILF. You've got Alexis here that kind of looks like, she kind of looks like a couple of actresses kind of merged together almost, as do a lot of these women. But, guys can come on here and they can say, hey, you know what? I like the looks of this girl. The computer will have conversations with me. It reminds me of the movie Her. I don't know, H-E-R, Her. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but it's about a phone, basically, and Joaquin Phoenix installs an operating system on it, and she's like a virtual girlfriend. And he goes to the park with her, and she says, "Oh, show me what the park looks like." And he scans the room. It's the next level of this, but it might be where it's going. If you want to get an idea of something, if you want to kind of see what this might look like in the next couple of years to come, I might suggest going and watching the movie Her, H-E-R, Hotel Echo Romeo, and with Joaquin Phoenix in it. And I think the voice is Scarlett Johansson. I think that's who does the voice in it. And let me know if you watch that. You don't have to let me know, but I mean, if you watch that, could you see yourself at least saying, you know what, she's not real, but it's a fun conversation, and it keeps me company, and it's better than being alone. It's easier than finding real life friends. She treats me better than any real women actually would. And the illusion of somebody that likes to talk to me and spend time with me and things like that. Yeah, they even have guys on here. So, if that illusion's enough for you, is it a good thing? Me personally, I feel like this is a downgrade. I feel people are alone enough as it is. I think the perfect time in history, for the history that I've lived, was like 1990 to the year 2000. I feel those were the best years on the planet. Because we had video games, we had computers, we had email, we had a lot of the technology we have today, but we didn't have social media and we didn't have the online world. And so that meant that for interactions and dating and even for silly things like validation and people paying attention to you, you had to be in the real world and you had to interact with real people, which I think kept people in check. Like kept them grounded to where if a girl thought she was all that, she'd go out and get turned down by half of the guys she's talking to, and she'd realize, okay, I'm not all that. I'm just kind of an average girl, and I'll meet an average guy. Where today the hypergamy scales are all screwed up, and we know it. We know it. I think things were just better back in the day when we had the technology, we had video game arcades, and it was so much fun. I miss the 90s. I genuinely do. Since then, music's gone downhill. Movies have gone downhill. Hobbies, things to do, activities. Everybody's just planted in front of a screen, living their life away, pretending their life is awesome and beautiful on Instagram. And in the meantime, they're sitting in their pajamas, lonely, eating cereal and Cheetos. I think we missed, and a lot of you missed the best times that were to be had. And I think this is replacing it, but it's replacing it with something that is fake. And I don't know. I want people to be happy, but I think this is a placebo. I think this is a placebo to real happiness, and it won't make you really happy. But maybe it's enough for some people. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down below. Guys, once again, if you like my work, let me try this again. If you like my work, we do movie nights. I did a lot of the Buffalo football games over on Locals, where I talked over watching the Bills, and I screamed and yelled as the Buffalo Bills suck and went down in infamy. Same thing with USC fights. We find stuff to do. We do have a community with real live human people over there. And no, you can't talk to them, but you can text and chat and share memes and have laughs and get to know people. And it's a good community. So I think if you are finding yourself being a little sad, a little lonely, wanting something to do a couple times a week, that's what that community is for. And it's got a hell of a lot of good, awesome people on there. And I hope you come over and become part of the supporters today and join the community. Guys, I'll leave it there. I appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one.